And good evening, everyone. Another edition of Licorice Pizza for you. And who do we have today? Well, let's see. I'm not going to keep you in suspense. It will be Huey Lewis and the News, and mainly their album Sports. We'll be talking about a phenomenal album by Huey Lewis in the News that was released back in September of 1983. Hard to believe. And into 84, they rode that wave there for 83, 84, 85, of course. And the album Sports, which changed their life forever. And it was a pleasure to listen to that whole album. Absolutely amazing album. I went to the store looking for it. And sometimes they just wouldn't have the record. It would sell out because I waited too long. So I said, okay, I'll get it on cassette. And then your cassette player eats the tape. What can you say? So let's talk about sports. And some of the singles, well, some of them, all of them actually, five singles. That's kind of unheard of in music. Only a few people can do that. Michael Jackson did it, and a few other people I can't think of right now. But that's a rarity. Five singles, because they were on that roll. It's like a bit like a small snowball, right? The first hit, then it gradually keeps getting bigger. So the record company says, "Hey, let's release another single. Why not?" Let me go through those. Let me go through those singles. The Heart of Rock and Roll. That's one of those songs. A lot of bands still do that. Great dance song. Great dance song. Walking on a Thin Line. Another great tune. If This Is It. That's the video that MTV used to play all the time back in the day. Just where Huey Lewis is walking on the beach, and he hated doing that video. He said, "I'm so embarrassed. I don't like this. Don't like doing that video." Everything was a video back then. In those days, Heart and Soul. That's another one. That's another great song. They're not. How do you put them in a category? Great pop band, but they could make it harder too on stage. Kind of hard rock. We used to call it hard rock back in the day. Also, I Want a New Drug. There you go. They would do that. I saw them do that live. That was released, and it's like, that's another great tune. Five singles off one album, Sports, and 19. So the people that do have the vinyl, hang on to that, will you? Really, it's one of their. They sold triple platinum over and over. That was number one several weeks. Five singles, and they basically from like September, October of 83 up until 86 were just riding high on that album, Sports. And they could afford to buy all kinds of boats and sporting equipment after that album came out. Amazing five singles, folks. And before that, to set Sports up, the album was Picture This. Do You Believe in Love? Remember that tune? That was on MTV. The video played it quite a bit, and but they couldn't have guessed or realized what was coming next. I'd love to see that with groups, those success stories that just knock it right out of the park. So those are the five singles, and I'm going to go through quickly Huey Lewis and the News albums, okay? And then when you leave a comment, tell me what's your favorite Huey Lewis and the News album. Of course, Huey Lewis and the News from 1980. Didn't get much airplay. That was a tough time for them. And Picture This started to get a little airplay. MTV, that's not bad, is it? And then Sports came out, and that changed everything. Then the fourth album, some massive hits off that. Hip to Be Square, Stuck With You. That's the one. That's still another one that was off that album. And Jacob's Ladder, I believe, was off that too. That was a number one. Jacob's Ladder. Number 4, or the album 4, Small World, Hard at Play, 1991, 4 chords and several years ago. I love that title. If there's a great title of any of their albums, that's it. 4 chords and several years ago. Which basically, we're going to do some classic covers of some old material. And Plan B, Soulsville, that was another album they released. And Weather. Weather was from 2020, for Huey Lewis and the News. But again, if you have a favorite Huey Lewis and the News album, not necessarily have to be the single, but just the album, let me know. Leave it in the comments. Appreciate that. My favorite Huey Lewis and the News album. Now, I'm still going with Sports. Yeah, I just, and fine line between some of them. I thought Small World was a great album. That album, Small World's a different kind of sound to Huey Lewis, because they just didn't want to sound the same, the cookie cutter, just all sound. But Small World was definitely a change for them. And again, we're going to go to this, one of my favorite parts of the program is Underrated Slice for a song. Underrated Slice, Bad is Bad. They never released it as a single. They play it at every show they do. You will hear them play that. The musicians get up on the microphone and the drummer's keeping it going, and they sing some amazing vocals during that. And my favorite slice, oh boy, favorite slice for Huey Lewis and the News. I'm going to say I Want a New Drug. People are going to say, really? Yep. Oh yeah. That's just kicking. That is just love the way that starts out with the guitar and stuff. So that is. And what's your underrated slice? What's your favorite slice? And also, what's your favorite album that they ever released? Just leave me a comment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And that is that. I'll see you next week.